transition with the music.
I'm getting better at this.
Shit. That was good.
It was good, right?
That was really, really good.
Yeah. I'm getting
What's
into it.
up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Attack with me, Peter Santa Maria, a.k.a. Attack Peter. My lovely wife, Gabby, is joining us, a.k.a. Attack Gabby. No. She's changing all her names right now. We're claiming.
No.
And little Wonton in the bottom, who is having an allergy day.
Yeah, he's not having a great day.
He's not having his best day. He's got a vet visit tomorrow, but he'll be fine. He's got an itchy ear. You guys, awesome show today.
Yes, very
One of my
exciting.
favorite people, Jesse Hernandez, a.k.a. Urban AZTEC, and this guy is on fire, but the truth is he's been on fire for a long, long time, and we're going to talk about that. He just keeps leveling it up, turning up the heat, and making it real uncomfortable for all the slacker artists out there, which is probably my favorite thing about him. I like when someone's doing that, and I can just sense, maybe it's just in my head, but I just sense other artists going, fuck.
Oh, like that?
Yeah. I don't know if that's...
Are they?
I don't know. That's how I envision
Is that how
shit.
you feel?
Oh, for sure. Like, I love that. But see, for me, like, when I see someone step it up like that, I go, fuck. And then I go back to get to work. And it's,
Well, but that's what you're supposed to do.
well, I'm grateful for it. But I don't know if everybody has that healthy reaction.
Well,
I
they
think
should then build that healthy reaction because you should never. It should never be about jealousy, right? It
Of
should
course,
be
that's
about
what I'm
bringing
saying.
everybody up
that's what I'm
through
saying.
healthy competition.
That's it. Healthy competition. And
That's,
I'm so...
you know what I'm learning?
What do you learn?
That I'm learning that through?
What do you learn?
Through anime.
Through
I know it's crazy, but I've been watching a lot of like high school themed animes.
Oh, yeah?
And a lot of it is based on like competition with each other.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It's awesome.
I mean, I like it, and I think it's not really necessarily something you see in America. Like healthy competition. It's always like just crush everybody.
Yeah. Steel, sharpen steel, and real recognize real.
Oh,
I just came up with that right now. Right now, I came up with that shit. Okay. Let's say what's up to everybody before we get started. I see
Who's
a
in the chat?
full house tonight. We got Dr. Wolf, Andrew Harriman, Johan. Let's see. Are we? Oh, audio sound is low.
No, I fixed it.
You fixed it already? Okay.
Yeah, remember there's a little lag.
Yeah. K&L Collectibles, Joy Buzzard, Lewis Erie. What is up, everybody? So stoked to see you guys all here. Colt, I see you, buddy. Nick Dillinger, Pedro. Good. A lot of new people too. I don't recognize some of these names. Odd Creations. How you doing, Jan? What's up, buddy? So yeah. We had a crazy stream last week on Thursday. First, we had the Alien Isolation Terror Fest. And that just like eased into the hype and hectic, crazy show that was Skybound Expo 64. And when I had the panel on Expo 64, Jesse was my guest towards the latter half of the show. But we were just kind of warming up. And then it's like in my headphones, I hear... 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Oh my God,
1
that
minute,
was so
5
stressful.
Minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute, 5 minutes. I'm like, quick, get. So I'm like, quick, ask the last question. Okay, but like, make sure Jesse wraps it up. But then it's, this is really good. Let him talk. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like not a proper way to host a guest, in my opinion.
Right.
So that's what tonight's about. We're gonna have him in here. We're going to talk to him a little bit. I'm going to try to feel it out. When I think he's getting tired of it, we'll let him go. And then I can sense that in people. Like their smile starts to get rigid.
Right.
It's like the
like the
mouth,
pageant girls that like have those things that hold their mouth open.
The mouth stays like this, but the eyes start to go like this. And so when
a little tear wells up on the side.
Exactly,
Please let me go.
Exactly. So I'll let him go before that happens so we can leave on good terms. But okay. Before we do that, though, just a quick shout out and let you guys know the Daruma that Jesse designed, the link for that is in the chat, and so are all his links, so you can check him out. And quick shout out off the top, because this is too good.
Oh my God!
I got this in the mail, and I don't know if you could read it, but it was in the
get
group.
your big hand out of the
Sorry,
way.
hold on. There you go.
Don't move.
This is a
That's
custom
perfect.
1 of 2, I've been told, mug that says, "Do you have the Toho license?" with the little warhog on top.
Very important.
Clearly an unauthorized piece of merchandise. Skybound, please don't sue. But shout out to Raph, the Omnibuster himself, for making this and sending this to me. I fucking love this.
That thing, when we opened that, it was
so good.
Both of our smiles were so big.
Yeah,
We're like,
so
this
cheers.
is so genius.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
And after we say bye to Jesse, we have a special surprise for everybody. So stick around for that. Okay. Without further ado, let's bring
Are we
in
bringing in our guy?
our special guy.
All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's cue up some applause.
Crank the applause.
Let's
He deserves it.
music.
Nice.
There we go. There we
You're getting
go.
so good today.
Hey!
What up,
More
dude?
applause. Wait, no, not buzzer. Applause. Yay!
What's up?
So Sorry, that was
What up?
that was a little intense.
We're getting so good at this now. We know how to use all the buttons.
Sort
Jesse-
of. I did buzz him a few times by accident.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, it was a lot of by accident.
We have the soundboard now, Jesse, that like we use as like an audio mixer.
It's too much power.
It's so much power because you can like make all these sound effects happen. But now Gabby's getting really good at it. So now who knows what's gonna happen? But dude, thank you so much for doing this, man. I know at the end of last week, you know, we were like, okay, you're good. We don't need to bother you anymore. But I had to bring you in one more time. So I appreciate you saying yes. Thank you, man.
No, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on. It's, you know, we were having a good time chopping it up. But yeah, I fully remember the countdown.
You could hear it
It's
too,
like,
right?
snap, we got 5 minutes, and then it went from like 5 minutes to like, okay, we're done. I'm like, wait, what?
Dude,
It was shocking.
You seem like such a like mellow, like jolly, good dude, like with a good spirit, and I'm like an anxious, neurotic mess. So when I hear stuff like that, it's like I have like an Indiana Jones bridge in my chest. It starts to crumble. Like when I hear shit like that. But how about you? Are you pretty like even keeled with stuff like that?
I felt the same way you felt, but I was just smiling.
You're good at it, dude. That's what I'm saying. You need your own show, dude. You're really good at it because you are a natural. But
Throwback styles, you know.
dude, for sure. You know, right off the top, I have to bring this up because I was just listening. I told you this before we went live. I was listening to a conversation you had with Sean Crystal, who has what's his Ink Pulp podcast.
Yeah.
Super nice guy, and he's been doing that show for a while. He's got some great episodes banked. Still waiting for him to do a solo interview with me, but he only had me on with one of our mutual friends, Jeff DeCal, which makes me think he doesn't think I'm worth my own episode, but whatever.
Oh,
Wow.
Shots fired. Just letting you know, Sean. I see you over there doing your fucking
Deep cut.
yoga, bro.
Wow.
Stretch out that finger and bring me in.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, but no, I love that guy. But anyway, the point is, you mentioned in passing at the end or like in the middle of it that you used to get, or at one point you got backstage passes to a show that you were like a concert. Like I forgot who it was that you said the show was for, and then you went and you were walking in backstage and you said, "Oh, let me see how far I can get with this backstage pass."
Oh yeah.
And you ended up on the stage.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know that I spend my entire teenage years doing that to every concert I went to, and I have all these pictures. Dude, I was on stage. Like, I have such pictures I got to show you one day. Like, I used to make my own backstage passes at first when I couldn't get one. And then I watched how all the roadies would be, like, wearing, like, the real roadies would wear them on their belt. Like, and they would have a bunch of them, like, from all the shows they did. And so I made a bunch of fake ones. I laminated them, and I walked right into some concerts, dude. And
That's
one time,
hilarious.
isn't that funny? And one time, I don't know how I did it, but I ended up at a Warped Tour with a video camera, like my family's camcorder. This is like 98 or 99, and Black Eyed Peas was performing, and I had met I was hanging out with them because I'm backstage now, and they're super nice, and they're like, "Hey, dude, you want to film our show for us?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then, dude, I'm on the stage, like on a speaker, like filming them, and I'm like, "What am I doing?" Dude, it was so freaking crazy. But yeah, I thought that story was so funny, man. What did you get up to when you were doing that?
So that was for Sublime.
Oh, shit.
Sublime with Rome, so the new version,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So my homie Carlos is the drummer, and so he's, "Hey, I'm gonna leave you a pass." I'm like, "Okay, word, that's what's up." And so he was originally in Tribal Seeds, which is a super dope reggae band too. And then they asked him to come join Sublime when the original drummer stepped down. And then so when he dropped me the tickets, I was like, "All right, well, let's see how far these go, man." I slapped the little, friends and family thing and just started walking. And I'm like, "All right, I'm just gonna keep cruising until somebody says that's enough."
I love it, dude.
And I ended up, going right up to the stage where they were playing. And then someone was like, "All right, dude, that's good." And then I looked over and the Offspring's right next to me.
No
I'm like,
shit.
"Oh yeah, I guess that's as far as you get."
That's so cool, dude. That was my dream as a kid, man, was to be like in a successful music group. And I got like fairly far. Like at 19 years old, I had a record deal with a band that I was in, and we were on Roadrunner Records. And I don't know if you know Roadrunner, but they had all the heavy bands like now I can't think of it. Slipknot's on it, but they had a bunch. But anyway,
that's heavy right there.
Oh yeah. And so Il Nino was one of them. They had a bunch of other bands I'm blanking on right now, but people will tell me if they know. Point is, like, that was the life I wanted so bad. But hearing you tell that story, it made perfect sense, because I used to tell people this story because I'm like, this is one of the most fun I ever had. Like one time I snuck under a camper or an RV or whatever, and I laid underneath the RV until the security passed, and then I rolled out to meet 311 when I was like 15 years old. That's the but I'm like, this is the attitude I think you have to have, you know, not necessarily like to be deceptive or anything, but to be like hungry and hustle to get shit done, dude. And it's just so funny when I heard that, I'm like, boom, there it is, dude. Like that's always been my mentality. Like, see what I can do, see where I can take it, see where I can go from here. And when I'm looking,
it's just like a funny game to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, all right, let's see how far you can push this,
dude.
You know, and yeah, like you're saying, the same type of thing with the art, man. Like, you know, the only limitation is what you set for yourself.
100%, man. And when I look at the slides, we're gonna look at them now. The span of the work, you know, in terms of like the amount of projects you've been involved in, the scope of it's that attitude, right? It's like, you know, you start in one medium, you start in one arena, and then you turn it into something else, and you morph it into something else. Do you have in your mind what the like ultimate goal would be, like where you could not necessarily sit back and chill, but at least sit back and say, fuck yeah, this is a good place to be, and I'm happy to work here for a while? Do you have that?
Man, I don't even know. I guess it's always, you know, nothing is that long term really right now. So I guess the ultimate thing would be to have something that has more of a really long lifespan. You
Like
know,
what?
so that it just keeps happening. So I've actually I've been trying to work on some other stuff for a cartoon idea and other things like that. So and actually I worked on a cartoon back in the day called
Right.
The Nut Shack. You know, YouTube folks probably know, but and but yeah, so like, you know, trying to get back into that stuff and you know, see what happens with that. But it's, you know, it's one of the many kind of fires I've been lighting, hoping that, you know, something will jump off with that. And you know, I figure as long as, you know, everything you're doing, you keep pushing, that other opportunities will just continue to, you know, show up.
100%, dude. And that's funny because I never thought when I started, you know, getting serious with my artwork almost like 9-10 years ago, that I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just knew that I had to keep going. And it was frustrating not to have a specific road laid out. And I always tell people, like, you know, there are days when this is really a hard career, but there's a lot of days where it feels like a dream, and then you don't even feel like you deserve to get paid for it because it's like such a good life. But the hardest part for me was, and sometimes still is, not knowing the roadmap. And I've had a lot of families get into like law and medicine, two of the fields that you just think of in your head, like that's work, dude. Like that is work nonstop. But I always said, yes, you have to be willing to work, but at least there's a path.
Yeah.
And this has no path, you know?
It really doesn't, man. Like, I mean, I think now, you know, the stuff that you've seen, or the stuff that I've seen, like you kind of learn the ropes of where you're going, who does what, who to talk to, type of stuff like that. You know, when you first start, you have no idea, you know, and it's kind of like, well, where does this, you know, let's say you want to work with DC, who do you even talk to?
Right.
You know, or like, you know, like just trying to figure out how those things even work. You know, I'm like, do I just send it to you blindly and hope you care? You know, like, who knows? Like, you know, they're ultimately like, someone always knows someone in your network that, you know, could connect to it, and just getting out and chopping it up with people is the best way to go.
Dude, and I tell people that, like, when you see any artist at all, and by the way, those people in the chat, if you guys have a question or anything you want to ask, let me know.
Fire away.
Yeah. And if you want to make sure I don't miss it, because the chat's kind of moving, we have super chats now, I think, so you could like put a super chat so I won't miss it. It gets like highlighted. This is the first time we ever do that, so you know, just letting you know, it's a trial and error thing. But yeah, check the audio B on Jesse. They say it might sound low to some people. You got it? Okay, you're the best. But Jesse, so
All right.
no, you're good.
Okay.
So that's you know, something that transitions exactly into, you know, what I wanted to talk about, because I tell people, if you see an artist at any level that's doing a gig that seems like it's like a licensed gig or like a big project that has some support behind it, and like, dude, to get to that point, you're either the luckiest motherfucker that like is out there, or you have like tripped, fallen, eaten shit 100 times and landed in a spot where now you can make something work. And hopefully at that point, when that opportunity shows up, the path that you've been on, grinding and creating and failing and succeeding and all that, you're ready for it. Because it is like something that shows up sometimes, and it is lucky sometimes, but you got to be ready for the lucky thing that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, always it's a trip, bro. Like there's so many like I guess different paths and pitfalls and whatever else and this and that, but really like the more time you put in, it creates those opportunities.
Yes.
So like I mean, oftentimes I'll post something up and people are like, "Man, I want to do that too." I said, "Yeah, me too, bro." Like it took like 20 years, so I didn't just walk into it. There's a lot of dues paid, and
Dude,
making sure
yes.
that and I think in general, most of the cats you see, making moves, like they've been putting in work for a long time, before the opportunities actually started. Like you were already true to your own voice that whole time,
Yeah.
and kind of making waves as, slowly but surely before things happen. So, I mean, I think there's luck in it, but also, paying, hard work goes into it and perseverance and determination,
And a lot of risk taking, right? Like there's some,
absolutely. Like
dude.
every single thing you do, you don't know what's going to happen.
And
You're hoping
yeah, go ahead,
it's going to
please.
go well.
Yeah, exactly. You're hoping it's gonna go well, and you invest a lot of your own time. Like I tell people all the time, like there was the last few years before I did Designer Con 2019, which really helped things pop off. 2018, honestly, I was like getting up at 4:30 in the morning for 2 years straight up just to get to work for 2 hours before the first student showed up, so I could work on my own stuff. Because
Yeah.
and you're a family man. You're a father of three, right?
We've got four.
Four.
Actually, my oldest just graduated from San Francisco State this
Amazing,
weekend.
amazing.
Which is crazy.
So
Props to you, Eliana. I see you, kid.
awesome. I love it.
Um,
I love that. And that's something that I love people to hear because you know e- every step of the way in my path, whether it's been at the university studying art, with other people around and on their paths and their roads, and or even now doing conventions, and there's always someone who's like, I just don't have the time, like you have, I don't have the time that you have to put into it. And don't you hear shit like that? Doesn't that fucking like get to you, man?
well, I mean, I mean, some people have the passion to go for it and some people don't. I mean, like, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't put it out there, no one
Yeah.
will know.
Or time.
You
I'm
know,
saying like I don't have the time to like. If I
these,
had more time, I'd do this. If I had more time, I'd
why are
do
you
that.
sleeping, bro?
Right, dude. Exactly. I love you so much. I love you
I'm
so
like,
much. Yeah, it's perfect.
I can't even sleep, dude. Like I get bugged out off of just thoughts and other things that I'm like, oh, I could be doing this, I should be doing that. Like my mind doesn't shut up, bro. It won't stop. Like I'm always thinking of different stuff. So,
And you're at a
I
point
don't know.
now
I
where,
guess
yeah, and you're at a point now where I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that like you got an awesome circle around you. And I'm only basing this off of what is working here in my life. You have a great circle around you. People know what you do. They support what your, endeavors are. And so you don't have to explain that so much. But was there a time where like that mindset kind of put you at odds with your surroundings? Because for me, for sure, dude, I would be like at a family dinner or on a date or like hanging out with some friends, and I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, I need to design something right. I have to go back and work on something right now. That never happened to you in a movie theater? If the movie is just a little shitty, I'm out. And I'm thinking like, I got to get out of here. I got to draw this thing or set this thing up. You know what I mean? How about you?
Well, I think the funniest part is trying to explain being a toy artist. Like that one's always super weird, man. Like, oh yeah, I do like vinyl toys. So like, what? Like, yeah, back the easiest way back in the day would be like, you heard of Kid Robot?
Yeah.
And if they said no, you're like, well, then I don't even. Never mind. Like if you said yes, cool. All right, we can continue. Like, because that would be the most easy way in for anyone in America, anyways. But yeah, like there's so many different avenues within that, and then now with Funko and everything else, I'd imagine it's a little easier to explain.
Yeah.
To some degree, even though I don't think we're that related. But
Right. Right. It's almost like it's like a gateway for some people. But the idea that like you were saying, like, why are you sleeping, man? Like you can't sit still.
Yeah.
You can't like. I'm the same way, dude. And like what I've learned is that I am, I guess that's a percentage of me that's mentally like needs to get disciplined, because just as much as it's discipline to wake up early and get your work done, it's also discipline to learn how to turn it off and like be a family member and be a friend and all that kind of shit to like put it in its place. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
think that for me is the hardest part. I think,
same.
especially with everyone working from home and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, it's when your work is always around you at all times. It's hard to just be like, nah, not right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, wow, dude, I'm slipping. Like, I can't even turn this off. Like, I need
Right.
to chill for a minute.
Yeah. And that's it's important for people to hear that because this is a amazing like it's amazing life to live, but it's also a strange struggle because it doesn't ever look like you're struggling. Sometimes it looks like
Well, yeah,
you know.
bro, it's a roller coaster, and
Yeah.
people only see the high part. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole low part, like we don't go posting that on social media. You know,
Exactly.
man, that was a rough ass day today.
Right.
What am I drawing? This
Yeah.
is straight shit right now. And then but you come back the next day and be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. All right, cool, we're good. I can work with this. But
Dude.
it's funny how that works.
And that to me is why I used to love like anything that was a peek inside the world of the artist. So like I used to love. You ever seen that movie American Splendor with Harvey Pekar, the cartoonist? I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that's an extreme example. But anything like that where it kind of gives a peek behind the life of someone who's creating. It's such a strange thing to be able to regiment and discipline. And I wonder like now that you have this career that's kind of like, it feels like it's a well-oiled machine at this point, at least from an outsider's perspective. Do you have that in your life? Like, get up, get to work on this, and then take a break. Like, how does that work out for you?
Honestly, dude, every piece to me is a battle every single time.
Yeah.
Like it's, sometimes they magically just work well. And every other time I feel like, it's, I'll have an initial idea and I'm like, oh, dude, this is going to be dope. And then from there, as you start trying to draw it, it becomes a whole battle to make it actually what you want it to be
Yeah.
or even close to it. And then, but then you just trust in the process that in the end, you're going to get there,
Absolutely.
and so day, whatever, it finally happens, so.
Dude, and before the COVID year, I was so excited to get back out to do conventions, and I know I've seen you like we've never met at a convention. I don't think so. I think maybe I bumped into you at Decon or something, but I don't remember it for sure. But
I thought we bumped into each other at Decon, but I'm not sure anymore either.
It's crazy, dude. There's so much going on at those shows. You mentioned it with Sean. It was the same thing. It's unfair because I feel like they should have the show completely, in a weird, like the show should happen twice. Once so that we can enjoy it all like without working, and then with the work. But the point is, I love those conventions. I don't know about you. Like when I heard that the conventions were gonna get canceled, I was like, motherfuck. Like that to me is my favorite thing.
Bro, it's legit my favorite stuff.
For sure.
Like that's, San Diego Comic-Con, Decon, all that, if you can make New York, wherever they happen to be, man. Like comic conventions have always been some of my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
And just getting to see what everyone's working on and what's coming out and, trip out on different artwork and stuff from wherever. And it's like one of those times too where we all get to kick it for a minute instead of just being in our, art caves or whatever.
100%, dude. B, can you adjust the webcam? I think it fell, and then he can't see me in case he wants to see my beautiful face. Jesse, the funny thing is you mentioned that, and I could not agree more. To me, it's like the Super Bowl for us, and it gets to, plus just the honor of getting to be there. And we have an isolated lifestyle.
It's more like the All-Star game.
The All-Star game, exactly. All-Star weekend, bro. It's like, that's exactly it. Because the energy is like Kevin Durant on the side watching the dunk contest and losing his shit. It's
like, why is everyone gathered right now? This is awesome.
Yeah. So I bring it up because number one, exactly for the reason you said, it's like we have an isolated lifestyle for most of the year, and then when we have those moments in the convention, it's like, okay, fuck yeah, I just needed this. I need to see everybody, need to talk to everybody, which is part of why I started doing this show, because this is what I like to do at the shows, But then I also think of it, dude, like if not for these conventions, I would not have had a real tough time getting my name out there and my work out there, like especially coming up. Like I did Florida shows for 6-7 years before I even left to California. And then I did 5 Points in Brooklyn. That was huge for me. It was a small show, but great turnout. And, those things were so big. And I bring this up because recently I saw this post on Instagram from the artist, great artist. I love him. I think he's a super positive guy and his heart's in the right place. Skinner, Skinner?
That's my boy.
Yeah. So Skinner, he did this post, and I'm like, I got super confused from it. I'm like, basically telling people don't do or rethink the idea of the conventions as an artist. And I get where he's coming from. He's like, we got to pay for the booth, and we got to, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you saw this.
No,
like,
I didn't see it.
Like basically the artist should get the booth for free, and like we're the reason everybody shows up. And and I'm like, damn, dude, I hope because
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
That's like Artist Alley or something, right? Where because
at Comic-Con for sure.
Yeah, like that's how that is. Like,
yeah.
If you're one of the few that get chosen, you get the booth for free.
Right. But if it's like let's say Designer Con,
right?
It doesn't work the same way.
I mean, Decon, yeah, I guess it would be different.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Like I said, the idea makes sense to me, but then it's also tough because, to me, I'm like, if I'm a young artist coming up, how do I break in though? Because if you're gonna give free booths out, you're gonna give it to the fucking Skinners of the world. You're gonna give it to the Urban AZTECs of the world. How are you gonna be that young kid coming in and breaking in? Because there was a minute when nobody would have had me at a show. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the same time, how long was it before you'd even got that invite too? Like
no one has invited me yet. To be honest with you,
yeah. I got like one.
Exactly.
This whole time.
Yeah.
So, and that was recent.
Yeah. So I get the idea, but either way, like I tell people, especially if they're young artists, I'm like, dude, do the fucking convention. Like if you're a young artist and no one knows who you are, fucking split a table. Split a table with someone if it's a lot of money. Just get your shit out in front of people. You learn so much about your own work, how people react to it. Do you agree with that? You think that's good advice?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because art is such a trippy, like, subjective thing, right? Where, I think you have to go through all types of mental conditioning just to survive it.
Yeah.
Where like you're creating stuff. If you're real sensitive about what people say about your stuff, you're gonna break.
Yes.
Like you have to kind of get through that. I remember, battling with all types of people about what my work was and everything like that. Where, I think in art school, that's literally all they did was mentally challenge you.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even about technique. It was just like, let me try to destroy you and see what happens. Dude. And you have to fight your way through it.
You got your degree? You got a degree in art?
Yeah, so I went to the San Francisco Art Institute, and I was a digital major and painting major.
Some of those
it was
critiques.
kind of funny too because they on the way in it was like, oh, we're gonna have classes with Pixar, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
I showed up, they're like, oh yeah, we didn't have enough people, so that's not happening.
Shit.
I'm like, oh, come on, man.
But you're talking about those critiques where they like put everybody's work up and then like judge it in front of everybody, like all that.
Yeah.
So I had that.
I had teachers telling me like, what you do isn't even art.
Oh,
like,
dude, I had that.
Like, they're like, no, you understand what you're doing, and so that's more design or what. I'm like, what? So I have to be confused to be an artist? Like, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? And you just be battling,
Dude, I'm one part extremely grateful, and another part of me, like, I cannot wait to bump into one of them again, to let them know I'm doing okay, because the shit I used to take I was doing stop motion animation. And then at one point, I started like just loving sculpting the figures and the puppets and the armatures and all that shit. And I was taking the pictures to do the animation. And I realized, oh, these pictures are like badass by themselves. Like they look like a cool portrait of something happening in a world. And anyway, so I started printing them and showing them. And at one of these critiques, the professors, in front of the whole student body and all the faculty was like, this looks like when you go to a grocery store and you see the cat calendars where the cats are posed with the shopping cart or like, and dude, it was like, Jesus Christ, meanwhile, it was like all on me to learn any technique and then just to develop how that was. But it was so important because there is nothing that I could hear from any company, I could get a rejection or an edit or like whatever it is. And I'm like, cool, let's go. Let's rock. It doesn't affect me now, So you kind of built that outside shell. Dude, let's get to work, dude.
That thick skin is good, bro. Yeah. You got to have that to persevere.
So right off the bat, like we have the image of the Daruma that you so graciously designed, dude. And I can't thank you enough. First of all, I have to apologize if this was at any point an inconvenience for you, but I thank you so much. It's such a big honor. And I'm so stoked that you guys have a chance to pick this up now because you know, if you guys got the screen print we did with Takaro or any of the Month of Monsters, you know how sick those screen prints came out. Same company doing this one, and I cannot wait to see it in person. It's like beautiful Arches paper, and it's got like all the detail on it. These bold colors are going to translate super well as a screen print, but thank you, man. So yeah, I want to show some people because you sent me, we showed this off at Skybound Expo. Yeah, and we talked a little bit about it. But for those who maybe didn't get a chance to see the Skybound Expo, can you give me a quick rundown of what you were thinking when you had the concept of Daruma and you wanted to make it, you know, more your own?
For sure, bro. So like, I was trying to, you know, kind of take the figure how you had it and still, you know, keep all the essence there, but then kind of add some of my own flavor onto it, turning it into a more like sugar skull styled, you know, oni, and then with the dragon on top also. And so, you know, then keeping a lot of balance on it with that street flavor too, with the little oversprays and drips, you know, give it some of that style.
I love it.
And but yeah, then you got the you know, sugar skull, almost like pinstriping designs to the added to the skull. And but yeah, no, it was dope getting to work with this, man, and hoping there's a way to flip that toy into some other little variant or something like that.
Yeah, right. I would love to, man. That would be, to me, you know, and I've spoken about this in front of these people before, but like for me, my goal is that we get to turn the idea of Attack Peter into like into a brand where we can do a toy line and we can pick a theme. Like, you know, we're doing Daruma this year, so like I got like 10 of my favorite artists, and they're all gonna design a Daruma, and one's gonna drop every couple months or whatever it is. Like that's my vision for this going forward. I know it's not like a novel thing, but it is what I want. I want to be able to do that. So getting to work with you on this as a print form even is a great like step forward in that direction.
Yeah, thanks for having me on it, man. It was dope getting to, you know, collab on a little thing right there.
Yeah, I love it. So you sent me some sketches I wanted to show people because I love this behind the scenes type of stuff. Here's one of the sketches in black and white. So this is where you lay out the concept, the form, the shape, where you get the general design.
Yeah, so this was kind of like the final like pencil, you know, style version of it before I went over and then vectored over all the lines. Just kind of get the dimension and idea of the whole shape.
And yeah, this is the point in the design to me where like you can tell if it's gonna be a strong design or not. I don't know if you agree because you work in a lot of color. Obviously, I don't work too much in color, but when I see a design in black and white, it's almost like if you hear a great song and then you hear like the unplugged version of it, and if it's still a great song and unplugged with acoustic guitar, you know it's a real jam. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, no, absolutely, bro. Like, cause to me too, when I see just like black and gray or pencil, I really appreciate it, you know, as another artist. Where it's funny where sometimes you have to show color to other people for them to understand
that's
it.
true.
You know, like for me, like, and I trip out on comic books and stuff where you see like all just the pencil version of it or whatever, and so you can actually see the, you know, the artist hand. You know,
there's some awesome books that IDW puts out. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I'm a diehard Frank Miller and Mike Mignola fan. And I got one of the Hellboy in Hell hardcover artist edition just to see the blue pencils and shit like that on that. Yeah. I could stare at that all day. It's the same thing. That's why I love to see these sketches because it's just that we as fans we got. What do you got?
The Marvel covers and
yes, that's
the Tim Lee X-Men one too.
So good, dude. And those are the best things they could put out right now. Those books.
They're so dope.
They're so good, dude. And it's like,
and you see it closer to full scale too.
Yes,
you know, like
I love
the actual artwork.
Yeah,
instead of the shrunken version.
Yeah, I think they're 11 by 17 exactly, right? Or if not a little bigger. It's amazing, dude. But yeah, you know, people don't always get to see this stuff. And another reason why I like doing this, you know, conversation and bringing you on is how else am I going to get everybody at the same time, show them the cool artwork and the behind the scenes and hear you talking about it? Because this is what I would like. Like if I get to see my friends or if I get to see my favorite artists on, you know, talking, I want to see all the sketches, the stuff they throw away. Whenever an artist posts like, oh, this didn't go right, I'm going to have to toss it. I saw Ryan Otley, the artist on Invincible and now Amazing Spider-Man. He did a post one time where he's like, none of these pages turned out right. And they're all fucking outstanding. But he's literally torching them over a fucking trash can, dude. I'm like, no! You know, it's just like, love seeing the behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, so even further, like the next slide, I think shows the original sketch right there, where like in pencil.
Yeah, so that was even earlier in the process, still trying to work out a few things.
It's brilliant to take that idea of the Daruma's face and morph it into a skull. It almost now becomes a new iconic design that just has to happen.
Right?
right? It's
Yeah,
just it works
for
so
sure.
well. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, let's keep going and looking at this there. And so here's some color samples. So when we were early in the process, you were like throwing some different color ideas. These are
Yeah,
so
these were
good.
two of the other ones that I was presenting that we ended up sticking with the one solid one, but I was like, oh, what if we had like a night and day sun and moon vibe to it,
Yeah,
and the other one with the more magenta flow,
I love it.
and like smoke and stuff going on. So, but yeah, those were two other alternates that didn't make the cut, but they were close.
There, trust me, it was like picking between your kids. For me, the idea is like if it's iteration is how I'm always thinking about things. And obviously, I didn't invent a Daruma. Everybody knows that. But the idea of like taking something that exists, morphing it, iterating it, moving it in a different direction. I love that because now I think that if someone else does it, they might say, I'm going to borrow that skull thing and move that into it going forward. You know what I mean? Like I love the idea of iterating it, passing it down, morphing it, changing it. Really, really great. So love that. So here's a slide that you sent me that I just want everybody to see the murals that you do because this informs a lot of the design. And I wonder because for me, when I'm carving these designs, I tell people all the time, if you ask me to sketch my designs out for you, they won't look the same. They won't be the same. Like even sitting with a pencil or even working digitally, there's something about the tools that I use to make the image that unlock the final design. And I'm like, I don't even know what it's going to be sometimes until I get there. And
Yeah.
so but then you're constantly going from one medium to another medium to another medium. And I wonder because when I first started, art school, speaking about that, and I started taking sculpture classes for the first time, I noticed that my drawings got way better. So I was thinking in 3D for the first time,
Yeah.
and that came back to 2D, and my 2D drawings looked more 3D, and vice versa. So now I wonder, where did you start with your media, and then how is it now going back and forth, and what do you bring with you? Do you bring anything back and forth?
So, um, yeah, it's a trip, bro. Like bouncing back and forth, and the style's constantly kind of evolving.
Yeah.
For me, I think I do kind of approach how I lay down paint now, similar to how I would lay out like an illustration or something, or how I would color it. So like all often, like say the wing of one of the eagles here, I'll lay a base color first, and then put shadows and highlights, and then but being the only thing that's completely reversed is with illustrative artwork, like a poster or something like that. I'll do the line work first,
Okay.
where in spray paint you have to do it last because it has to sit on
Mm.
top. And so that's you kind of like, it's tough, man. It's like you're saving dessert, like, man, I don't know if I could do it. I want to lay this line down just so I can see how it
Yeah.
looks, like where you do 85% of everything, and then but that last like 15% just makes it pop, when you add that shading and highlights and stuff, man. um
Dude,
and then
yeah, go ahead. Sorry. No, go.
oh no, I was gonna say, like, with these murals, specifically as a trip, because everything was super symmetrical, right?
Yes.
And these were all freehand symmetry,
No shit.
yeah, like 100%. So I would show up and basically just find the center, right, and then kind of go off in both directions, kind of trying to keep it balanced the whole time. And but yeah, that stuff is like torture, bro. Like I remember being like, why am I doing this to myself?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is where did that idea come from? Because funny enough, when I was studying portraiture, at the university level, one of my professors who was a super trained, portrait painter, et cetera, and, studied in France and China and all that. He taught me that like the most realistic way to capture something that you're studying is not to do like a gesture sketch first and then block it in. Is like he would start with the pupil of the eye.
Hmm.
And then he would work his way out measuring the radius of everything. So how far is it from the pupil to the iris? How far is it from the iris to the eyelid?
Right.
And like working like in a spiral that's like going outward and outward. I'm like, what the? It's a totally different process. So that's why when you mentioned that, I'm like, what? Where did you get that process from?
And it's kind of the same thing where, like, once you find your center, right, you're kind of like, all right, well, so the you know the earring or whatever it is goes out 10 feet this way, so I know it's got to go 10 feet that way. And then you're just you're all right, so how does this line up to that? Proportions, I think, to me on murals is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because I mean, especially if you're not projecting it.
Okay, I was going to ask you, do you ever does
Yeah.
that happen? Do you project these? What do most people do with these? I always wonder that.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, it's I think it depends on the level of time you have. If it's
Okay.
something like, I got to bang this thing out like right now.
Yes.
We're gonna show up and project it and knock it
Okay.
out. So like, you mentioned
Even
Skinner
in
a while back.
daylight,
So
even
me
in
and him-
daylight,
what's that?
even in like broad daylight, you could project something on and it'll show up.
No, you got to do it at night. Yeah, so you have to like do
Ah.
it the day before.
Okay, good. See, I didn't know
So
that.
like say if you're doing the whole thing where you show up and buff the wall or something,
Right.
maybe by the end of the day it starts getting a little dark, you can project it, and then
Oh, okay.
either you stay and keep working or you come back the next day.
Got it.
But I've only used a projector once or twice, really, and it was my boy Skinner's. So thanks, bro. And
I gotta get him on this show.
in San Jose in like 2 days using it. It was crazy, just because it was fully projected out, and it just made it so easy. Because we didn't have to guess anything. All we had to do was just start rendering, and it was on.
Got it.
Yeah, it was a trip how that works.
And
But
so,
yeah, for me, otherwise, I just kind of like, I know that I'm like 6 feet tall, so my wingspan is about 6 feet. And I'll keep kind of finding my measure that way. All right, this is 6. Bam. All right, this is 12. This is 18. So it's kind of mathematic in that too, where you're doing like a very, very loose kind of grid work, type
Yes.
of thing with just using yourself and eyeballing it,
It's fantastic. And when were these done roughly?
So these were in the city of San Jose in California, and so this is the end of last year. I think I started maybe September,
Okay.
and so it ran through to it was about 2 months. So I had 2 weeks on each piece.
And so it's funny because I figured these look so sculptural, and when you mentioned symmetry, those are some of the things that we see in the toys now, right? Like I feel like there's elements of that. Like each one of these could quickly translate into like a 3D sculpture on their own.
For sure, yeah. And and then like the colors that I would use in a a toy piece or a mural, like they're all related as well. Like I'll be like, okay, so this should fit like the jungle color scheme, or this is more like that McLaren in the piece here is close to the peyote edition I did way back when. And so it's not exact, but it's kind of like based on those colors.
Let me
And like color wise, I think that translates a lot. Speaking of the jungle, there you go.
Yeah, right. So dude, when I saw this, like, can you talk about like how does a project like this come up? And then more importantly, I think what I would want to know is when you are designing a shoe, I would shit my pants. I'll tell you why. Because I feel like a good shoe design is about the shoe first being sick. Like the shoe already has to be sick. If you can get your flavor in there, if you can get your design sensibility, great. But I would not want a shoe that looks like a bunch of my monsters crammed in, or you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen shit like that. It's fucking terrible. So this, number one, how do you get like a gig like this to pop off? And then more importantly, how do you show the restraint? And then are you wondering like, are people gonna know it's me? Is it enough me for people to get it? Like what is that like? And how did you do it in your opinion?
Well, so it came about through my homie John Hawk over at Foot Action, and so we had been working on which it might come up later. I sent some stuff to you with a lot of the WWE stuff.
Oh yeah,
right. So all of that was going through him, and so then after we were done with that, we had actually when we first met, we almost did a shoe. That's how it started, and then it kind of came back full circle at the end, where he mentioned he had the Diodora project, and I was like, I'm down, bro. Let's get it. Like, I've been trying to do a shoe forever. I think I've had maybe 4 or 5 things almost happen, right? Like, throughout the years, I almost had Converse, I almost had Adidas, I almost had Supra. Like, it just so many things almost happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's the other thing with being the artist too.
Yeah.
Like, for every time you see something that we've done that somebody's like, damn, like that's sick. How did that happen? There's also 9 others that didn't. Like we've taken so many other shots that may not have happened. In behind the scenes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
People don't know
and,
that. Like all the shit that almost happened is crazy.
bro, so much stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's but then you never know. It also maybe it just wasn't the time, and
Yeah.
it comes back around. You know,
100%.
like stuff like this is like, all right, well, maybe I wasn't ready for it at that
Mm.
time, and now, okay, it's when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Um,
So the design on them, though, like obviously you can tell that it fits into your work, especially with this awesome photo that you took, or
yeah,
whoever took it. But designing it like on its own, what were you thinking? Like, because that would be my nervousness is that if I'm gonna get a chance like this, how do I make it awesome, and then how do I make it tie back to me?
yeah, it's all of those things were going through my head, bro. And so like, taking the base form, how do you pop the colors in a way that you would think is tight? Where can I add graphics? How do you not overdo it, like you said?
Yeah.
Also, like this one was definitely more minimal.
Yeah.
Like you have like like there's the hit right there on the top of the toe, on
Uh-huh.
the back of the heel, and then
Yep.
on the side. And then there's also like embroidery going up the tongue.
Okay. It's perfect. It looks like an awesome shoe that someone would be happy to wear if they never even knew who you were. But if they were a fan of yours, like this is a great way to just, show that style. It's awesome.
And I think the other
Would
part of it
wear.
too is like with everything is design something you would wear,
That's it. Would
right?
wear. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like if I can't see myself wear this, then I wouldn't want to put it out, right?
Right,
So,
right. I love it.
you just want to do something that you'd be like, all right, dude, these are flossy. I would totally buy these and rep them to the fullest.
They're
So,
great.
it's kind of the same thing with posters and everything else. In any of the artwork is like my gauge is like, would I tattoo this?
Mm,
Like I would get that tattooed. That's good enough to go out now. All right, cool.
I love it.
So
That's a good one.
like if I saw somebody with this piece, I'd be like, oh hell yeah,
Do
you
you
should have
get
done that.
do you get those DMs a lot? Like people saying, "Yo, is it cool if I tattoo this?" Or "Yo, I'm about to tattoo this right now." How do you
Yeah.
answer those? Because I have a canned answer at this point. What is your response to that? I'm sure you have like the same response.
Well, I mean, for the most part, I'm like, yeah, go for it. Just make sure to send me a picture.
Right. I say the same thing. I'm like,
And be sure to tell the artist who the original artist was.
Yeah.
In case they don't know.
Exactly.
Um,
I say I insist that they do it, number one. And number two, I just say make sure that like if it's a giant design, you don't try to cram it on your wrist. And if, because I've seen that shit go so bad,
Yeah.
And Gabby, my wife, used to work managing a tattoo shop here in Miami. And
Okay.
when I first started dating her, she kind of schooled me on all the horror stories of like how people just are stubborn or they don't
it's
know.
tough, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. So like, when people get I started designing stuff to be flash size, like
Okay.
like the pig head that I have, the warhog head, or like I have a little dragon head or a little whatever. It's all designed like if you wanted to tattoo this, it's like that shop minimum size. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
for sure.
Okay, I love it. Let's go to the next one because we're gonna get real juicy here. Starting to come up. Here's some close-ups of the murals. The flame effect on this is sick, dude.
That one was crazy, bro. So that one was the one with the light in the
Yeah.
eyes. There was just like a little light off the ceiling that when it hit, it just burned so hot, bro. I had to keep rolling with it and just make it kind of explode out of there. That was for a shop in San Francisco.
So sick.
Um,
By the way, shout out in the chat. JanFitC says, "This has been my favorite talk. Jesse needs his own show," and I couldn't agree with you more. I told
hey, much respect. I appreciate you.
we gotta get him on it, man. He'll be so good. All right, so let's go to dude. This is what I'm talking about now. Okay,
Yeah.
this is some shit on a level that forget it, dude. Like, how do you? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what ran through my mind. That's ridiculous. And you're not even holding the big one up.
No, I don't have the big one yet.
Because so this is what went through my mind, dude. When I was first time I got a job working retail full time, like I dropped out of college because like my band got signed, like I told you, and I said, "Fuck this, I don't need
Yeah.
college
Oh,
anymore."
Hell yeah.
But it was stupid because then the fucking singer of my band quit at the last second, right before we record the album, left me high and dry. So I'm like, I'm not going back to school. Fuck this. I'm gonna go work retail. And the reason I say this, the first check I got, I was working at Sam Ash or with Mars Music back then. Selling guitars, and my first check for my first full-time 40-hour week was $500, and I'm like, I'm fucking rich, bro. And I took that money and I bought back then the life-size Alex Ross Spider-Man head.
Oh shit.
Tell you the
That's awesome.
fucking privileged ass life I was living. That I was living with my mom. I wasn't paying any fucking bills. My parents were supporting me. You know, like they always had done. Although I think this kind of broke this camel's back. They're like, you need to fucking get your shit together and pay bills if you can buy that shit. But I had the Spider-Man life-size head in my room, which I eventually had to sell because I was eating shit. And I just saw the life-size Wolverine, but stylized to a level where this kicked the fucking door in my opinion. That now, yes, it says Unruly, but we know Unruly is Sideshow, and we know Sideshow makes those ridiculous like statues realistic and all that. This, I think, kicked the fucking door down for every artist that's a stylized artist, like that, where the style is like the calling card. And I always used to think that, man, I would love to get a shot at shit like before you would even announce these games came out. I always said I would like to get a shot at doing my take on this character and that character in my style and have it be like a statue or a figure or whatever it is. But I want to crack at it because, you know, otherwise I'm never going to be able to have that joy of when you walk into the convention, San Diego Comic-Con, Sideshow, giant booth right in the middle. You walk in, all that killer shit in the middle, dude. And then, boom, these fucking pieces from Urban AZTEC. I was so happy when I saw this. I can't even tell you. Selfishly. Had nothing to do with you. It was just like, I was so happy. I'm like, this is a fucking battering ram, dude. So please, tell me how you got this shit to go down and like what was I like to know what the behind the scenes talk was. Like, did you at this point were they already like in love with your shit and they were asking you to do it, or did you like persuade them? What was the deal here?
So, I guess for the long version,
yes.
So this piece I actually did as a rock poster back in the day, and even that I had done this design for myself. I was just gonna, do it because I wanted to do it. Right. Like I was like, oh, this is the sickest idea. It's gonna be dope. I was gonna do it as just, a random, art print that I put out at a show or something like that. And then I showed it to, I was doing a poster for Pussifer, which is one of
Pussifer, yeah, Maynard's band.
Yeah.
I love them.
Exactly.
Shout out.
One of the offshoots of Tool, right?
Yeah.
And so I showed them, but I always want to kind of present like a couple different ideas. And so I had a couple, and then I included
Who do you show it to?
I was like, man, I shouldn't include that one. They're gonna pick it.
Do you show it?
Sure enough.
Do you show it to the band themselves when you do it?
So I'm not sure exactly how it works. So
I love Tool, man. I love that band. It's like my favorite band growing up. Yeah.
I think it's more of their tour manager.
Okay.
Show they kind of like chooses, and then I imagine they see it as well too.
And they picked it.
Yay or nay,
Yeah.
And then so I did it as a poster in 2015.
Look at that.
And just it was like one of my favorite pieces that ever still. Right.
Isn't that a good feeling when you know?
So as a toy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I like presented it as a bust, this one and the Iron Man, to a couple different companies, and nothing happened with it. And then I hit up my homie Dave Igo.
Dave Igo, shout out! He's killing it at Tweeterhead right now. Loving that, dude.
Yeah. What's good, brother?
He's great, man.
And because I had we were homies, but I had never even thought of just like, hey, dude, what do you guys think of this? And I was like, maybe I'll just give it a shot because everyone else already said no.
Wait, so did you have it 3D sculpted, or did you do like turnaround shots? Like
this was just like turnarounds.
Okay.
Right. And so I had like a full turn of the Iron Man, and then I had just the front and back of the Wolverine. And so I sent it over to him, and he's like, hey, yeah, I'll shoot it over and see what what the guys think and stuff. And so he sent it around, and they're like, oh, dude, they love it. Hell yeah, they want to make it. I'm like,
good, dude.
Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
And, so just from there, then we started talking, and this was before Unruly had become a thing. So it was like right as they were getting ready to announce it, but I hadn't been talking to them at all, and they had already had a bunch of stuff lined up. And so I was a late addition to the line coming into it. And it was just because I happened to holler at Igo, and he connected it up, and then it was on from there.
So good, dude.
And then but bro, like you were saying, when I saw this, getting it approved to do something official with Marvel was like straight up dream come true.
Yeah.
Like, when you were a kid trying to get into comics or whatever it was as a collector, you never thought that was going to happen in your life.
Never.
Ever.
Do you take a minute right there? Because I had that moment when we went to New York to do that 5 Point show. I told Gabby before we got there, I'm like, I bet you there's a chance that somebody from Marvel walks through, and we got to be ready for that shit. And it happened, and we got that deal doing the Marvel prints. And right there, they sent me that little stamp to stamp on my prints that says Marvel on it. And
That's crazy.
dude, it's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. Then they put out a shirt of the Black Panther. All of them are shirts that you can get like on Amazon or Box Lunch or whatever. But they
See,
put
they're
out.
fire, bro.
It's crazy, dude. I'm telling you, like, I still don't believe it. But the craziest part was, and this is like the shit that like I think we pinch ourselves over because we're still the same kid, just in a bigger body.
For sure. Yeah.
They designed a version of the Black Panther shirt that you can get at Five Below, that has a Marvel logo on it that I didn't make. I did not make it. They added it on. But dude, they designed a lino cut version of the Marvel logo to fit it. And I was like, no fucking shit, dude. I got them to design a fucking new logo. But that's the best feeling. Like you're saying, like when you're a kid, this is like our mythology that we grew up with.
Yeah.
And it's like you're entrusted with the iconography of our culture. And not only that, like to get such a big swing. This is everywhere on the internet now. I see it pop up all the time. This thing is
Bro, it was
it's crazy.
so like, I mean, after I saw it in person, I was already geeking out. And
For
then
sure.
after that whole Comic-Con weekend, like, bro, I was like shedding like tears out of happiness. It was weird, bro.
It's
like
weird,
I was
dude.
like, this is like, why am I crying,
Yeah.
bro? Like I was just so happy and I ain't even scared to admit it, bro. Like it was just straight like a comic kid's like dream come true. It was crazy.
It's crazy.
You know, like I was still shook by it. And you know, like and just like rolling from there, you know, like literally I went home and for whatever reason I went to like the flea market like the next day and I was looking at action figures or something or whatever, and some kid brought up this piece, you know, the AZTEC Wolverine, and had no idea that I was the dude that designed it. I'm like, are you serious
dude?
right now? Like, it's just at this random ass swap meet, some kids talking about this, like, what? And then I went to Tucson Comic Con.
Oh, shout out Mike Olivares.
Yeah, Big Mike, what's up, brother?
Love that guy.
And but so I'm there, right, showing stuff, and I overheard this kid going like, man, this stuff looks like that Wolverine.
Oh, I love that.
And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, did you see that? I'm like, yeah, that was me. And they're like, what?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, dude, this thing, I'm telling you, dude, like it's got this energy to it, but you nailed the iconography. It's obviously the, you know, Wolverine. And then it's like, as if this wasn't enough, I think the next slide is more of these. Oh, dude, this one fucks me up because this is the one, like, this is, you know what, this is the one, dude, this one right here. This is the one that like Kanye West buys, and two of them, and he puts them like at the front of his house because it looks like it's that stone architecture that fits right in. It's so good, dude. And
that whole style looks so proper with it. And it just looks like, oh, I just dug this up from some temple right now.
It's too good. I really hope that this thing sells like gangbusters and that you get to do everybody. Like, I'm just thinking like who I want to see next. Like,
who do you want to see next, bro?
let me think for 1 second, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second here. I really feel that we got to get some villains going soon. Number one. I feel like, see, but for me, like, I like all the dorky ass villains. Like, I like Lizard. Nobody likes Lizard, but I would love a fucking Lizard in this style. I think it fits right in with a long ass tongue. It would be.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
But nobody wants to buy Lizard shit. That's just for me. You have to do a fucking Venom at some point in this style.
For sure.
And to blow it up. They have to give you DC stuff at some point.
Oh, well, we have a Batman.
That's right. I saw it. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Batman's up.
We gotta get Swamp Thing. They're gonna get Fantastic Four going soon. You're gonna have to get the Thing.
Bro,
figure that one out, bro.
Galactus for the longest time.
That's the one.
I think
Done.
Galactus would kill.
Done. But do it in scale.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. Imagine a giant Galactus that can hold the other one.
Oh, dude.
Like, you know, that would be crazy.
That would. Oh, you know what? That would be sick. You do a big ass Galactus, and maybe like the back has like hollowed out like sections, and you could fit them in it. Oh
yeah,
my god!
It becomes like the stand for other ones. That would
Dude,
be insane.
This needs to be.
It's a whole like Fantastic Four like collector pack.
I love it, dude. Oh, Juggernaut like this.
Silver Surfer just floating around.
Oh my god, it's just so good. It's the dream to me. Like, this is when people ask me, like, if I got something like this to happen, I'm pretty sure it would be tough for me to like I don't know. I don't know how I would need a minute because like this is a pretty strong fucking entry. Let's keep going because there's even like just when you thought, look at this shit. This is why, and that's why I told you, I'm like, you fucked it up, dude. You fucked up Boba Fett now, dude. Now this is too good. Now we're gonna have to go watch Book of Boba Fett and be like, yo, where's that proper jetpack with the screaming ass face on it, dude, and the two tongues? I tell people like joking, but I'm not even kidding, dude. Look at that antenna on it, dude. Come on, man.
That one, I mean, so this one to me, bro, like, I mean, each piece that comes out, I still have that feeling, it's just
Yes,
like, oh,
dude.
dude, like, I can't believe this is actually real, but this getting to do Star Wars, bro,
Forget
like,
it.
come on, like, that
And-
was a whole other thing. I'm like, dude, I've been watching this shit my whole life. Like, the first toys I ever collected as a kid were Star Wars. Like, that's, like, it's just so weird to have it come full circle like that.
This is my shit, dude. Like this, I see this and I'm like, okay, let's get serious now. We need a stormtrooper, like tomorrow. We need Mando. Don't even talk about it. Just get it done. Okay. Let's see. We got to get Vader properly done.
Yep.
Let's go. Get him on call David right now. Get him on the phone. You want me to call him right now?
I'm just saying, I may have designed one of those already.
Oh shit. Breaking news. We like to break news here. But but dude, I'm telling you, when people, I mean, when people saw this thing, I'm telling you, I got DMs. I got 4 different DMs. I sent you one of them. I got 4 different DMs of people like, holy shit, I didn't know his work. I went and I got all of them because we got there's the Thor, the Iron Man you talked about. Now this one, and they come at the different scales, right? Like, so this is like a mini bus, and then like some of them have like the Wolverine is life size. Is this one in the small size right now?
So right now, all the ones available right now are at the 8-inch or scale.
Super collectible. Buy them all.
Wolverine life size, I think it hasn't become fully available yet, but it's still coming.
Oh, okay.
And because the other size one, they're gone now. So
tell me you're gonna get the life size ones of all of these and just like redecorate your house with this, dude.
Dude, the moment I get it, it's on. Yeah, absolutely.
So stupid, dude.
There's a lot of stuff in this spot right now, but once the life size show up, something's got to
clear it up. Clear it out. It's fantastic, dude.
Bro. And then I remember going to Comic-Con and chilling, checking out Sideshow's booth every year, right? Tripping out on it. And I mean, I got pictures of they had the life-size Wolverine, the life-size Venom,
so
the
sick.
Hulk, and they're just insane. I'm like, man, I can't imagine even getting one of these right now. And then I'm like, oh, but if I make one, I get one that way, right?
That's it. If I make one, look at these suggestions that are coming in. By the way, everybody's so smart. I'm so stupid. Colt said Galactus. Jan Fitzy said Spawn. Spawn would be ridiculous in your style. Bro. Let's get Tom McFarlane on the phone right now. Nightcrawler would be.
We need to make that happen.
Let's go, Tom McFarlane. Lazy ass. Let's go. Nightcrawler. They said Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom would be fantastic, dude.
Doctor Doom would kill.
I wonder, dude. I bet you, Tom McFarlane is the man, dude. Like he's one of those people that I admire. Like when we talk, when I talk about how I feel about your energy and your approach to things, I feel like he's the one that started that energy. Like when I watched those.
I mean, I was thinking about it. Like someone asked me that question a while back, and I think Tom McFarlane was the dude that I shouted out as kind of I've been looking up to his stuff forever,
dude. The work number sits on its own. And back then, if you're not at the age, I was 10 years old when Spawn came out, and I was waiting in line, bro, for that first Spawn. And that artwork there was Todd McFarlane and there was everybody else back then. But forget that. Put all that aside. There's documentaries and interviews that if you want to get hyped up for Friday morning or for the weekend, go online and watch the Todd McFarlane interviews where he literally talks about, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm going to take this world over, dude. I saw an exhibition of his artwork in New York, dude. And it's all his amazing artwork, all the Spawn animated, the toys, the comics, yada, yada, yada. But he had a shelf in the corner, like the details behind you, like those IKEA shelves. Yeah. And he had one in the corner of the exhibit. And it was stuffed, spilling out rejection letters.
That was, I remember seeing an interview with him. I forget where it was, but talking about the thousands upon thousands of rejections.
They're real. They're there. I saw them. He has them framed. He has them in the envelopes. I love that, dude. Imagine being such a beast and a bad motherfucker that even back then, before this kind of attitude was proliferating online that you could get hyped up for, he's saying, fuck it, dude. Every time I get a rejection, I'm going to just use that and hype me up to the next level. I fucking love that guy. Can't wait to meet him one day and tell him in person. Someone said MODOK. MODOK, dude. Doctor Doom, Darth Maul, fantastic. Yeah, dude.
Darth Maul, absolutely. Hell yeah. That's on my hit list for sure.
Let's get it done. And
what
then
about Ahsoka Tano, bro?
Ahsoka, dude. Lobot. How about Lobot? How about Dengar, dude? Don't be scared, dude. Swing for the fences. Dude. I think that wraps up the slides that I have, but dude,
okay.
I wanna thank you. I've kept you way too long, and I can't thank you enough. There's so much I want to talk to you about, but another day. And thank you so much. And everybody, if you're not following Jesse yet, I know that's not true. You already are, but just in case, for posterity, go click on the links below, or go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Urban AZTEC. If nothing else, besides the artwork being fantastic, you got to get hooked on the energy that this guy puts out. Jesse, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it, man.
Yo, thanks for having me, man. Always good hanging out and chopping it up. And yeah, again, I feel like we can keep rapping for all day, I guess.
Absolutely. But
be sure to pick out go pick up the collaboration print so we can keep chopping it up.
I'm telling people, you want to see it as a figure, pick it up as a print, and let them know
this is sure.
and hopefully the first of many, man. Like I love it. We got to get a Jesse Urban AZTEC Takaro one of these days happening.
Bro, that'd be insane.
Right? That's what I want to see. But dude, thank you so much, man. You're the best. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you soon. I would keep you longer, but I could already see the eyes. The eyes are drooping. By the smile is. So
I'm trying to see you on the smaller camera lens.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll go with that. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it, man. I'll hit you up later on.
Stay up, man.
Later, buddy. Woo! That was awesome. That was so awesome. Jesse's such a great guy, dude. Guys, for real, give him a follow, give him a subscribe, like all that kind of stuff on social media. Now, we went on way longer than I thought he would let us go on because I thought he had to get going.
But you guys have such a great rapport with each other. Like he has just as much
tiger blood. That's what you were going to say.
That is exactly what I was going to say. Thank you.
Okay, so we went a little longer than I thought, but the reason I say that is because I was going to do a little bit of talking about some of the prints that we did and all that, but I want to... What happened? Uh-oh.
Sorry, I have to bring down the volume of our mics because I think we were...
Oh, okay.
Hold on. There we go. That should be better.
Okay, let me know if it's
a little too loud, let me know. I'll try to bring it down.
Well, anyway, what I was saying was I wanted to take some time and... get into some of the prints and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I see Omnibuzzers. I hope you saw we shouted out your mug, bro. Rafi, you're the best.
Oh my God, that mug is incredible.
Yep. But
I'd like to know why we only have one, because there are two people in this team. Maybe it should have been an addition of three.
Mug Club. Okay, so let's see. Let's check out the chat real quick. Give me some of the music for the chat hype, and then we have something very special to do, and then we'll see where we go from there. Darth Maul would be dope. That was Colt. Classic Hollywood Monster Bus is amazing. They need to do full books with these characters. I agree. Living Tribunal would be bonkers. Hell yeah.
Living Tribunal would be super cool.
I love it. TMNT Shredder. Yes. I love it. You guys, okay. So I can't hear myself so well. Is that
Yeah.
my headphones? There you go.
Better?
No, I don't hear anything. I mean, I hear a little bit. There you go. I hear better now.
Yeah? Okay, there you go.
All right, so we'll save the print talk for another day, but it has something very, very important to do.
What print talk?
You know what? We need a lighter. You're the best. I was going to go over the Skybound prints, Expo prints that we released, the Gola Kiri.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for picking up the Gola Kiri. It sold out super fast. Thank you guys who pre-ordered the Daruma prints. Those are going to be made special for you for the Daruma figure. If you got the Daruma figure, the prints. Just a quick update on prints that I'm shipping out. I just finished printing all the Spider-Man prints for Sideshow. I'm going to ship them out tomorrow to Sideshow.
He's been hard at work, everybody.
Yes, I promise. And then they're going to be shipped out to you very, very soon. I know a lot of you already got the Iron Man and the Black Panther, and you're waiting on Spider-Man. It's coming. It's coming your way. And then I just finished printing yesterday and today all the Rhino prints and all the Rabbit prints. And so Gabby has to sign her Rabbit prints. And then I'm shipping those. I'll be shipping those out on Monday to Skybound, and then Skybound will pack up your orders. I have to get the Beast Rider started tomorrow. So
my signature is going to be different on every print.
You better not. On every print, you're gonna
every single.
I guarantee that.
At least there's going to be like 3 different permutations of my signature because I hate my handwriting.
I love it. I guarantee you that's not going to be true because
No,
she's
it
going to see
won't.
what it takes to sign 50 things in a row, and she'll be like, "Give me a stamp."
I gotta come up with a cool signature.
You're just gonna write Cruz, Cruz.
Cruz.
That's it, Cruz. See, or you're gonna write just Gabby,
Gabby.
or G Cruz,
G Cruz.
G Cruz.
G Cruz.
Okay, so you guys, while I have you here, yeah, the Spider-Man prints. I gotta be honest with you, they came out really great. Not just tooting my own horn, I'm just really proud of them. And like you heard Jesse talking about it, the idea of getting to work on Marvel stuff, officially licensed, it's a weird thing, you know. Like if you grew up with this stuff, like I know most of you did, it's a weird thing that they are letting you work on these characters and then paying you for it, and then you get to. I mean, it's just crazy, dude. It doesn't get. I don't get. What's the word I'm looking for here?
You don't get tired of it?
No, there's another word. Like I don't take it for granted. Is what I should say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely
Okay.
don't take it for granted.
But yeah, man, he was great, Jesse. By the way, I'm working on having Tom Whalen on next month, which is right around the corner.
Be awesome.
Because last time I had Tom Whalen, it wasn't live. So
no,
and
it was like a pre-recorded.
yeah, and he
right?
curses so much that I had to edit every. No, I'm just kidding. He does not. He's super polite. He said horrible things, and I had to edit them out. But this time it's live. You're gonna know the real Tom Whalen. And then I'm working on getting Eric Powell on the show soon.
Oh, that would
which,
be so fun.
yes, we had Eric Powell was one of the first people that agreed to go live with me at all on Instagram last year.
That's right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Oh my God.
And now we'll have him on the YouTube channel to promote his brand new book that he is working on the artwork for about Ed Gein.
Really?
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's like a crazy premise about like it's like a horror story. You know, his whole thing is horror and monsters and
So
noir.
Ed Gein was the one who dressed up as a clown?
No, that's John Wayne Gacy. Ed Gein, I think, is the
He's the guy who
template
ate
for.
people?
No, that's Jeffrey Dahmer. Ed
Is
Gein
Ed Gein-
wore the skin on his face like Leatherface. They based.
They based Leatherface on
Yes,
him. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha,
Mhm.
gotcha.
So it's-
Just as terrible as eating people or dressing up as a clown.
Yeah, but it's got
Truly.
like it's got a cool name. I forgot what it is. I think it's like "What Did Eddie Gein Do" or something like that. Like
Ew.
what did Eddie Gein do? Like it's almost like an origin story.
Yay.
It looks awesome. What I've seen of it so far. So we'll have him on to
Creeps
talk
me
about
out.
it.
I gotta
hopefully.
wait until October.
Yeah.
In October, I automatically get like the vibe of like, now I really want to.
spooplies?
Yeah, I got the spooplies. That's
You got-
what we call them, the spooplies.
I love doing, the thing is, guys, I love doing these chats with different artists, and I really, really, really appreciate you. I see you in the chat, hanging out and paying attention the whole time, and I can't tell you how grateful I am for it. Because, look, I know that when we do a print drop, there might be like 200 people in the chat for a print drop, because everybody's trying to get their print. Not everybody is interested in hearing me blab on or some other artist blab on, but those of you who do show up for these, I can't thank you enough. I see who you are. I really appreciate it. And the truth is, I'm going to be printing now for another month, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a minute before we drop something else brand new. But I already know what the new thing is. We've already decided on it behind the scenes. It's,
Did you tell me about it?
you know about it.
I feel like I'm very.
I got a text message about it. So,
oh.
yes.
I forgot about this.
In
A
the
text
middle-
message
like
in the middle
right-
of Target.
No.
Yes.
Target?
Yeah, we were at Target.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't say it though. I got a text message in the morning when we were waking up in bed, and I go, look at this. Yes.
Wow.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you're telling me. What I'm talking about. Don't say it, just in case.
Then stop looking at me
Okay,
like you
okay.
want me to
All right.
say
No,
it.
don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Okay. Anyway, very important thing that we have to do right now. As you know, 2 weeks ago, right? No, 3 weeks ago was my birthday.
Yeah. April 29th.
29th. It landed on us.
It's the 20th today, so it's almost a month.
Oh, so quite.
So
quite
3
a-
weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
So the point is that it just happened to land on a Thursday,
Right, which was fun.
which was very
that
fun.
was a great. Your birthday week was
It was great.
Jeff's kiss.
Jeff's kiss. So last Thursday was Alien Isolation.
Yes.
Friday was Expo, but
Yeah.
Sunday was Gabby's birthday.
Oh.
Yes. Did you stab yourself in the eye?
No, I said I don't want to talk about
Okay.
it.
Yeah, Sunday was Gabby's birthday, and Gabby said in advance, she's like, listen, all I want for my birthday is to do nothing.
It's to be left alone.
It's to be left.
not
She turned into like Lydia Deetz from Beetlejuice.
just put on a hood and I was like, please.
Please.
Because in fairness, I'm not that much of a
Party animal.
No, it's not that. I'm not that much of a hermit. It's just that for like 2 weeks before that, we had your birthday and then Mother's Day, and it was just like back-to-back weeks of having people in the house and entertaining. And my birthday was like the third of those weeks.
Yeah.
And I was just so burnt out from cleaning the house and
preparing
getting food and cleaning after people.
Yeah.
And I was just like, please just leave me alone.
And so Gabby's like, let's please not do anything. Well, so I got her gifts.
No one was invited.
No one was invited. My family stopped by. Her family hadn't left their gifts when they were here.
Right. So,
And
so your family just drove by and threw the gifts out the door.
Yeah,
and
like with a giant
sped
slingshot,
away.
smashed the windows.
No, I'm joking.
But the point is, we didn't do a cake for Gabby on her birthday. 'Cause I thought,
oh my God.
okay, let me
Let me tell you something.
let's get into this real
Let's
quick.
just talk about this really quick. When
Gabby,
I say I don't want a party, that doesn't necessarily
I read that
mean,
as no. You didn't say I don't want a party. You said I don't want to do anything. So
Yeah,
I read that
I don't
as
want like a big to do.
right. That's how I read it. A big to do. And for me, a cake and candles and singing is to do.
Okay.
We did go out. Listen, for everybody before they come down on me.
No, don't.
We went out to lunch.
We really?
We had gyukaku, Japanese barbecue.
Oh, gyukaku.
It's delicious.
We had Japanese barbecue. So one of
Gabby
my
got some
favorites.
nice presents for her
I
birthday,
did get
right?
wonderful presents. Your mom gave me a treasure.
Don't forget about my
trove
mom.
of
Talk about me.
things.
I gave
Yours
you.
were okay.
No, I gave. Because I'm gonna get shit now for the
No,
cake
no.
thing. Okay.
I'll post them to my Instagram if you want to see them. But
Okay. She
Peter
got good
got me
presents.
a tapestry, like an old yieldy medieval
Tapestry.
tapestry that we put up in our bedroom, and he also got me a banner. Like it's
A
like a tattoo
romantical-
flash style
Yeah.
romantical banner that says forever.
But
with our
also-
two wedding rings.
And a KitchenAid mixer.
Oh, that's right, the stand mixer, which
okay.
also I've used a couple of times to great
So
success.
don't anybody start with you didn't get her a cake. Fuck you.
No,
you're the worst." Okay.
no. Peter knows how to treat me well
Okay,
on my
okay,
birthday.
that's what I wanted.
Resident Evil. We
oh,
literally
yes, that's what we did.
played only Resident Evil for 2 days straight and like beat the game, and that's what I wanted to do. Honestly, I was dying to play it. The week before when we were playing Invasion, Isolation. Sorry, Alien Isolation. We really didn't have time to play Resident Evil, and by the time my birthday came around, I'm like, if I don't play this game, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. So that's all we did. That was my birthday wish, and we did it.
Yes. So
And Gyukaku.
all that is to say
Yes.
that Gabby's like, "Oh, where's my cake?" I'm like, "What?" And so
I
I
got
felt
so pissed off. I was like,
you weren't really pissed off.
I wasn't really, but I was like, one thing that would have made my birthday 100% perfect would have been a cake. And he was like,
Yeah.
I can't believe you never told me. And I'm like, why wouldn't I want a cake? He's like, oh, because you don't want a party, so that means you don't get cake. And I'm like,
You don't
I
get.
don't understand how the two are so related.
Okay. So
But he made it up to me.
The point of all this, I said, well, look, we're already almost at Thursday. Let's get a cake for Thursday and let all of our friends on the stream sing you happy birthday with us.
Yay.
So we're going to do that right now. And I even got candles. I'm going to set it up.
That's true.
This is real. This is really happening.
It is. He's
front of
getting
you.
it together. It's
Um,
just had to happen. It was belated, but it was okay.
we have to do the art cam. So bye, Instagram.
Hold on, I don't know if... Oh, you'll have to set it up. Yeah. Thank you to everybody in the chat wishing us happy birthdays. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Dr. Wolf. Chris says Carvel ice cream cakes are the truth. I disagree. My husband would agree. He loves Carvel cakes, but I don't... I'm just not like the biggest fan of them.
Try it.
Try a Carvel ice cream cake?
try the.
Oh. Hold on. No, it's not working. You have to turn on Epoch Cam or whatever it is.
It is.
Yeah, it's not connecting. Stand by, everybody. Huh?
It's connecting to
Wait.
There it is. Huh?
No.
Okay, don't worry. I'll direct the
Sorry.
camera at you.
You're right, just point it at me.
Okay. So.
See, Johan is already, he's figuring it out. He says Publix carrot cake is fire.
It is
I
fire.
agree. And my favorite cake is Publix cake. Just a regular
For those of you who
vanilla
are not
and
from
buttercream.
Florida, Publix is like our big grocery store.
Yeah, well, it's not just Florida. It's pretty much most
is
of
it?
the southeast. Yeah.
I thought it was only Florida.
No. It goes up into like Georgia, I think, and maybe a little bit further than that. But Publix cakes are my favorite. It used to be. This is how Hispanic I am. It used to be butter rum cakes.
Okay, listen to me. Do you have the birthday song that we designated recently?
Yes.
Because this is important. Let's get it done.
It's
right.
ready.
All right. Gabby, come
Wait.
over here.
Wait. No, it's gone now. Hold on.
Check.
No, it's gone.
Huh? Check other songs that we have.
I have like the main songs.
Pick one.
Let's check.
Happy birthday time. This is like your.
Am I going up to you?
Yeah, you got to come over
All
here.
right, hold on.
Hold on.
Is that a good birthday song?
Yeah. Happy birthday time.
It's my birthday
Happy
time.
birthday
Excuse me?
time. This is the song. Happy birthday
It's
time.
the worst song. There you. Oh, okay.
Happy
so
birthday to you.
Did they make this for me?
They made homemade.
Homemade.
They made it on the
From
spot.
the baker from Publix took it home.
They tried to say, "Oh, we have some cakes here that are pre-made," like, and I smashed all of them.
You smashed.
I threw
You
them
just
all
started
on the
punching
floor,
them.
punched them, and I said, "A new cake now." And they said, "Okay, I'm sorry."
All right, I'm
All right.
wishing to a great 2021 and more.
Another year of life.
Another, at least one more. Okay.
Woo!
Yay! All right, wait.
Now they cut
we
it?
gotta cut it. We
Yeah,
gotta cut it.
cut
What?
it.
No, put it down.
Okay, but then no, you have to
It's
do it
okay.
like
They
this.
don't need to see
yeah,
it.
Yeah, see it.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right, hold on.
It's like Truman Show. Perfect.
Wait,
Rotating for you.
I'm gonna cut it in half. And give each of us one half.
Okay. Now.
It's so tall. It's very unwieldy. Hold on, I got it. I'm gonna lay it down on the
That's
side.
so
It's too tall.
Okay, the suspense.
Okay, I got it. All right, give me.
There you
By the way, his mom gave me these super cute plates. Not for my birthday, just for no reason, but I love them. I like anything irregularly shaped. What are you doing?
go.
That's all you're gonna have?
All right, you can go back to your camera now. That's good. It is really good. You guys, we did it.
We did it.
We had Jesse on. We talked about toys and
Jesse's
art.
great. I can't wait to hang out with him in person.
David Robertson says, "I'm singing the copyrighted Happy Birthday song and no one can stop me." Your
Sing
revolution
all
has
you want,
begun.
The revolution.
Yes, I love my wife. I'm very lucky to have her. And
Oh, thanks, B.
big cheers to you, my
you.
sweet
Cheers
love
to
of my
you.
life.
Taurus season.
Taurus
which is
season?
I think it's over already.
Well,
But whatever. We'll
we're too stubborn
see
to let
out.
it go. Gadoonch.
This
I don't
is
know.
What's up, dude?
This cake is really good.
Cake is so good. It's even better when it's cold.
Yeah. No, I like it like this.
Yeah, it's good.
You guys, to be honest with you, I don't know what we're doing next week. I know we have it planned out, but I forgot what it was. But next week, we'll have another awesome episode. Probably some more art stuff. What day is next week? 27th-ish?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
No, next week. Oh yeah, it is the 27th.
So we'll probably make some artwork next week. Let's make some artwork next week. Let's talk about Golakiri. Talk about some of those characters in the bottom. Maybe develop one of them a little further.
That would be fun.
Because they're all this big. I haven't really developed the details of any of them. And you guys are awesome to develop stuff and design stuff with.
Yes.
So we'll do that. And who knows what else. It's going to be super fun. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Click like on the video if you don't mind on your way out. Subscribe if you're just popping in to hang. And I don't know what else. I love
Thanks
you.
for coming.
The
We
end
had
of
a
the
great
last
time.
video. The end of the last video for the expo. I was like, what did I just say? Remember?
Oh,
like,
no.
I was like trying to say thank you, take luck, and I was saying like,
Take a look and care.
and at the end, my literally last words were like, what did I just say?
What did I just say? Yeah.
All right,
That's
you
a
guys.
great outro. Bye, everybody. We'll
See
see you
you later.
next week. All right, let's see. Outro? Outro.
Outro.